The next item we're going to be working with is this image right here of this gentleman. First, make sure you open your layers and make sure your graphics layer is selected. If you have your text layer locked, you can unlock the text layer. I'm going to minimize the graphics layer. You'll notice that his face is at an angle. We don't want the head or face at an angle. So use your direct selection by clicking on the donut and come up here, and these are your rotations, and we're going to rotate it to about 25 degrees. But as you can tell, I rotated it a positive 25 when we should be doing a negative 25. That's a little more vertical. If you press and hold shift, you can move the handles to make it larger so it fits more properly. Press and hold shift whenever you're doing this so that you don't mess up the image and spread out your image too far. That should do the trick for that image. Next, we're going to zoom into this address. You can rotate this address the same exact way that you rotated the image. All you need to do is come up to the rotation, and instead of 180, select 0. And this address rotates. And then I want for you to select the text by double clicking and then highlight your text, and you can write justify. If your evolve image and your other evolve image and your photos are not in high quality display and you want to do that to your entire document, all you need to do is come up to View, Display Performance, and click on High Quality Display. We rotated the return address, and we're going to rotate this postal stamp location as well. So come up here to the rotation and click the 0. Another way you can do this is bring your cursor over to one of the corners and rotate like so. And you can see up in the rotation bar that the numbers move whenever you move it. I'm going to zoom out of my page, and I'm going to scroll down to the blue page right here, and you'll see that there are these images off to the side. If you select one of them and press and hold shift, you can select all of them. After you've selected all of them, you can zoom in some, and we need to align this. In order to align it, we need to go to the Align tool. You go up to Window, Object and Layout, and click Align. And we're going to be aligning these objects to the right edges. You can see this is align left edges, this is align center, and this is align right edges. I'm going to undo and just click Align Right Edges. It distributes them along the right side image. You can deselect this and zoom into these two Adobe symbols right here, because these two Adobe symbols are not the same at size as the Illustrator image and the Photoshop image. In order to select both of them, press and hold shift. Now that you have both of these selected, you can press and hold Control Shift and go to one of the corners, and you can click and drag inward, and it'll align it properly with the other images. You can see that a green line appears whenever they're aligned properly with the other images. I used my Photoshop as a guide, and you'll see the green line up there. You can deselect by clicking in your gray pasteboard, and then you're going to scroll up to this evolve as well. you're going to select this evolve and press and hold shift and select partial class calendar. And in this align tool, we're going to come down to align to, and we're going to click on align to page. And then once we've done that, we're going to align the objects to horizontal centers. And what that does is it aligns the evolve partial class calendar to center. If I zoom out, you'll see this is aligned to the center itself. I'm going to add this align tool into my panels to the right side. Just click and drag. The next item you're going to be working with is your stroke over here. So you can open up this stroke panel and then click on the line tool. And we're going to be adding a line right here. We're going to change the weight to 4 point. We're going to change the start to a bullet, which is the circle solid. And we're going to change the finish to an arrow. You can choose any one of these arrows. I'm going to work with curved. And then the scale, we're going to scale it down to 75%. 75%. And then we can draw a line. You'll notice that my line isn't very straight. I'm going to undo that. If I press and hold shift while I'm drawing the line, it will give me a straight line. It doesn't matter where my cursor is going, it gives a straight line. And this arrow will span these two columns. I can use my selection tool to deselect that. The other item we're going to be doing to this pink page is we're going to be inserting a QR code. In order to insert a QR code, you need to go up to Object and click on Generate QR Code, which is right here. For the web address, I just made a standard www.yahoo.com. You can choose any web address you'd please, and you just click OK. It gives you a preloaded QR code, and this column right here, we're going to place it right here. But if you just click right into the column, it makes the QR code just appear. Control Z, and if you click and drag, you can make the QR code fit the entire column like so. The last item we're going to be working with on lesson 4 is this evolve logo right here on this blue page. Second to the last item, I'm sorry. If I zoom into this, as long as this is selected, I can use my direct selection tool and I can click on specific items that I want. If I want multiple items, I can deselect different items. I'm deselecting different items that way. If I click off of it, I can use my selection tool and click on my evolve again, go back to my direct selection, and I can choose specific ones as in this as well. If I come back to my direct selection and just choose my selection tool, I can click on certain items, press and hold shift, and I can click on other items if I press and hold shift. If I deselect, I can also click on an item like the E, and I can use these. This is the select container, this is the select previous object, and this is select next object. If I select the next object, you'll see that it shifts to the V and the L and the next V and the E. Here's the portions of the O. If I use previous, I can do previous, and it goes along. I'm going to hold shift and I'm going to select my black letters, and then I'm going to change the stroke of my black letters up here. Not the stroke. We're going to change the fill. We're going to change the fill to a white. You can do that in this swatches over here, or you can do it up here as well and click paper. And then I'm going to select the crescent shapes, and I'm going to change this color to, let's do a light blue. You can also change the fill the same way.